Welcome to Poland Daily History with me, Nicholas Richardson. In this series of episodes, we are looking into how cities developed and influenced the society in Poland and the United Kingdom. In this episode, we will discuss how England gained cities by transforming into Great Britain in 1707.
We could mention the cities of Scotland, which today naturally are part of Great Britain and the United Kingdom, but before
1707, yes.
They weren't technically part, but they also have a very long history. Glasgow, Aberdeen, Edinburgh, these are cities
St.
that...
Andrews, yes.
When you visit them, you see
they have a distinct identity, particularly in Edinburgh. I mean, Glasgow's real identity, I think, came again in the Industrial Revolution, a famous place for shipbuilding.
Yes.
And the industry there.
Yeah, I mean, Edinburgh, especially with its stones,
yes,
stone buildings.
The architecture in Edinburgh is fantastic, and the old town and the new town. The new town, of course, is very old, a bit like the new town in Warsaw.
Yes.
Marvellous history.
Then there is another city that there was some controversies whether it should be given city rights, which is Belfast, because it didn't have a cathedral, but it was given city rights after an exemption was made. But naturally, that is a city that in some way could be considered to have been lost in the way that
Yes, well,
Poland...
I suppose in that sense you might say that Dublin was lost when the Irish Free State was founded in 1922. But,
yes.
I don't imagine that's a very popular opinion either. Poland Daily History, the home of unpopular opinions. Yes, I mean, a very checkered history in Ireland, of course, and now we have the whole thing in the Northern Ireland Protocols. I mean, this is living history.
Yes.
And it's very interesting. And then you think, well, look at Ireland, it's a separate country now, the Republic at least. It has a population less or about half the size of London. And which you were saying earlier about the whole concept of populations and population density and the significance of things. They're very, very interesting. But you're right, I suppose you could say Belfast was slightly lost. I mean, I think a lot of these cities have become lost in a more philosophical sense since the decline of industry in the West. And it was particularly unnecessary, I think, rapid in the United Kingdom, where a lot of these big cities which were founded on, Leeds, for example, was founded on wool, Manchester on cotton, a bit like Łódź, Liverpool on sort of the transatlantic trade, Sheffield on steel. They've sort of lost, Birmingham on manufacturing generally, the metal industry particularly. They've sort of lost their raison d'etre, and that's very sad to see, because there's no reason. We still need the ships we needed before, so why aren't we building them? Why have the politicians allowed this to happen? And it is, and I don't think the answer is, oh, well, you can build it more cheaply in Vietnam. I don't think that's an answer anyway. Even Poland is beginning to suffer from this.
Absolutely. We have a similar situation in the US with our so-called Rust Belt state in the northeast of the US with these old industrial cities that really in the last 40, 50 years, they are just crumbling. Everything from Gary, Indiana to St. Louis.
Even Detroit itself.
And Detroit, naturally, is probably the greatest example. Here in Poland, the city of Łódź fared a similar fate. It has started picking itself up in the last 10, 15 years or so. But previously, in the 80s and 90s, it was really a city that was created by the Industrial Revolution. But during the late 20th century, it started deteriorating rapidly. In the case of Łódź, it was especially the garment industry that started moving to Asia. That was the big problem, and it was a sad state of affairs. But now Łódź seems to be doing better again. Yes.
Adam, sorry, I'm just going to have to stop you there as usual. The clock has defeated us, but we'll pick it up next time. There we are. I've had to interrupt Adam almost in mid-sentence, but fear not, if you join us next time on Poland Daily History, as we hope you will, we'll pick up the story. Until then, thank you for watching.